Todd Chrisley and Julie Chrisley may be getting out of prison earlier than expected. The Chrisley Knows best stars reported to prison in January 2023 after their fraud convictions the year prior. And now, they both appear to have had time shaved off their sentences. Todd was sentenced to 12 years in prison at FPC Pensacola. But according to federal prison records, his current release date is January 22, 2033, which is less than a decade away, and nearly 2 years earlier than he was originally expected to be released. Julie, meanwhile, had been sentenced to 7 years at FMC Lexington, but per prison records, she's now set to be released on October 19, 2028, 1 year and 3 months earlier than expected. The Chrisley's attorney, Jay Sargent, told Insider, "Without a doubt, Todd and Julie are model incarcerated individuals who received exorbitant sentences. I believe Todd is down to 10 years and Julie is now at 5 years." In August 2019, Todd and Julie were indicted by a federal grand jury on 12 counts of bank fraud and wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy. The couple pleaded not guilty and have maintained their innocence since the indictment. In June of 2022, they were found guilty in their trial. They reported to prison the following year, and their legal team has been working to appeal the decision. While Todd and Julie serve time, their daughter Savannah has been open and honest about what it's like having her parents behind bars. Access Hollywood is looking back at just some of Savannah's candid reflections on her experiences this year.
I'm not their mom. I'm not their dad. I'm their sister.
Yeah.
And so I want to stay in that role of sister, but it's hard when you have to be parent.
Sure.
You have to discipline.
Savannah Chrisley is opening up about having custody of her brother and niece. The reality star was on her Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley podcast, where she shared about having custody of her 16-year-old brother Grayson and 10-year-old niece Chloe after her parents were reported to prison, getting candid about some of the struggles she's faced so far.
The other night, I just had a full-on breakdown. I was trying to find Chloe proper clothes to go and visit my parents and find her hair stuff, and I just sat down on the floor and just started crying. And I was like, I am not my mother.
Ugh.
Like, how am I going to do this? Like, I don't feel that I am worthy or capable enough of doing the job that she's done for all her life, you know? And it was like I was sitting there, and the next day, Chloe and I were talking. We were in the car, and she was like, "You're doing a pretty good job."
Savannah Chrisley is preparing for a difficult holiday weekend without her parents. The Chrisley Knows best star took to Instagram on Wednesday ahead of Easter, which will be her first holiday without her dad Todd Chrisley and her mother Julie Chrisley, who are both serving time in prison. Savannah shared a glimpse at family photos with her parents, as well as Bible verses. She wrote alongside the video, "As this holiday weekend rolls around, all I feel is grief. In 25 years, I've never spent a single holiday without my sweet mama and daddy. Not only is Easter this weekend, but my daddy's birthday is tomorrow. Oh, how I pray for time to fly. Can it be Monday already?" The reality star continued, "When you lose someone special, your world lacks its celebratory qualities. Holidays magnify that loss. The sadness deepens, and the loneliness can feel isolating. What I've learned is the need for support may be the greatest during the holidays. Pretending you don't hurt and/or it isn't a harder time of the year is just not the truth for you. But you can and will get through the holidays." She went on to share this piece of advice. "Rather than avoiding the feelings of grief, lean into them. It is not the grief you want to avoid, it is the pain. No one can take that pain away, but grief is not just pain, grief is love." Savannah then added in all caps, "I love you, Mama and Daddy." The next day, the 25-year-old shared a birthday tribute to Todd. She wrote, "Happy birthday, Daddy. I miss you more than you'll ever know. It's been 80 days since I last received a Good Night My Angel text, or an I love you more. Geez, how I miss them. My parents have also been together almost 30 years, and in that 30 years, never have they spent a birthday apart. So today, I'm imagining us all together in one bear hug circle." Her older brother Chase Chrisley also sent their father some love. He wrote in a post of his own, "Words can't describe how much I miss you. This will be the first birthday of yours and mine that we won't be together, but we are together in spirit. I love you, and I'm beyond proud of the man, father, and husband that you are. We live in a broken world with a broken system, but I have faith that we will be together soon. Until then, I love you, and we will hold it down. Happy birthday, boss."
Because we were not expecting that. We were like, there's no way.
Savannah Chrisley is looking back on the moment her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, were sentenced to prison. On Tuesday's episode of the Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow podcast, the 25-year-old reality star talked about the moment her parents' guilty verdict was read in court, saying they were all, quote, shocked by the verdict.
I will never forget, like, when they stood up to read the verdicts, it was like, guilty, 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 like over and over and over again. And I just saw the look on my parents' faces, and everything, like, they were just in tears.
Yeah.
And because we were not expecting that. We were like, there's no way. Like,
so like, in your opinion and theirs, from everything you know, they're not guilty.
No.
I don't think there's a single letter that goes by that she does not say how much she misses my dad.
Savannah Chrisley is reflecting on how hard it's been to have her parents apart from each other. The Chrisley Knows best star took to her Instagram story to reflect on the realities of dad Todd Chrisley and mom Julie Chrisley serving their prison sentences at the same time and not being able to communicate with each other. Alongside photos of the couple, she wrote, 195 days without a word to each other. My heart is breaking. Savannah also encouraged followers to check out her family's legal defense website, writing, please help to bring justice. The reality star and her family's legal team have been working to appeal the decision in her parents' tax evasion and bank fraud trial. In a new episode of Savannah's podcast, Unlocked, Chrisley family attorney Alex Little shared that Todd is optimistic about and focused on the appeal process.
I think he is doing what he needs to do to be a good model prisoner and to get along with the folks he's there with, the people who have to become your friends and part of your community. But he's focused on what he needs to do to win the appeal. He's very, focused on what we're doing when things are happening, keeping track of the process. Mm-hmm. He knows what our strong arguments are, and he checks on those all the time. And your dad is, you know him, and he is relentlessly optimistic.
Savannah has previously opened up about the distance between her parents, sharing on a May episode of her podcast that her mom has written her letters sharing how hard it's been to be apart from her husband.
I don't think there's a single letter that goes by that she does not say how much she misses my dad.
Because they don't get to talk at all.
They don't get to talk, no. So it's going on, what month are we? April?
We're on month.
So we're like
4.
3 or 4?
4 months in.
Yeah, 4 months in, almost. And being together almost 30 years now and not going a day without speaking to now going on 4 months is a lot.
Savannah told listeners that she visits either her mom or her dad every weekend, and she shared how that's been a challenging process.
So every weekend it's someone, and I say, I don't know why it just clicked, but this morning I was talking on the phone to one of mom's friends, and I was like, if this, I imagine this is what having divorced parents feels like. With having to, but in a way, of having to figure out, who am I going to go see this weekend? Or who,
there probably are some similarities.
Yeah, just bouncing back and forth. Mm-hmm. And that's the hard part of figuring out, all right, who am I going to go see? Because also going to see dad is a lot more.
He's a lot further away.
Yeah, he's a lot further away. With mom, I can go. So, normally with mom, I'll leave at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., drive to Kentucky, see her, then drive home. With dad, it's a 7-hour drive. So I will normally pick Chloe up from school on Fridays, start driving. We'll get there at about midnight. And then we're at dad's facility by 8 a.m. to visit him from 8 to 3, do the same thing Sunday, and then drive home. So then we get home Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and then we start the week over again.